guys, and welcome back to the 315 Sports Podcast. Let us know how you think that intro is. If you guys like it, we'll keep it for the rest of the episodes. Today, we have a special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Adam Honis, Honis.
Who are you, and why are you here? Would you like to explain?
I'm here because I'm the commissioner, the CEO, the founder, the president, and the referee of the ping pong tournament, aka Underground Boxing Tournament I hold in my basement. So I'm here to discuss that.
The Jackie Moon of the tourney.
Exactly.
Before we get into all that, we know you guys are highly anticipating that. We're going to start off with everyone giving 3 to 5 what ifs, and then if you want to talk about yours in detail, you can. It's going to be what ifs in the whole world of sports. So I'll start off by giving my 5. I went with, what if Jose Fernandez was still alive? What if Tim Duncan chose swimming over professional basketball? What if Paul Pierce died the night he got stabbed in his 3rd season in the NBA? What if Drew Bledsoe never got hurt, the guy that was ahead of Tom Brady? And what if the Cavs never came back in 2016? Gabe, you can go next. Give yours.
All right. I just have a few. The first one is, what if Donald Trump bought the Bills a few years back? What if, like, World War II and the Korean War and all those wars didn't happen because they affected a lot of baseball players like Ted Williams and Joe DiMaggio and their career stats? And then what if Steve Bartman didn't happen for all the Cubs fans? And then what if Bo Jackson was able to play 2 sports his whole career? And would we have seen more 2-sport athletes take that chance, like guys like Jameis Winston, Russell Wilson, and Kyler Murray?
Tim, you got me next on there?
Yeah.
I only got 3. First one is, what if former Syracuse basketball point guard Johnny Flynn never got injured? What if Chris Paul to the Lakers trade went through? And what if Harden, Westbrook, and Durant stayed together in OKC?
Am I next up, Commander Tim?
You are.
Mine are, what if Len Bias didn't OD on cocaine?
Jeez.
All right,
A
people.
little dark there, but okay.
Could have been the GOAT. That's my hot take from Big Bakes, but we'll elaborate on that later. What if the Chargers didn't move on from Drew Brees and he didn't get that shoulder injury and leaving free agency to the Saints? What if Dennis Rodman stayed an airport janitor? And what if Jim Brown played longer? Those are my 4.
Am I up, Timmy?
Yeah, you are up.
All right. Just what if Andrew Luck didn't retire? What if Ray Allen didn't make that shot in Game 6 for the Heat and save LeBron? And what if the Bills were able to win at least one of those Super Bowls?
I feel like you're throwing some shots there.
Yeah. Directed at certain people.
I can't really do Gibby because we like the same team, so I'm not going to trash my own teams. So.
I'll explain one of mine because this is probably something most people don't really know. Tim Duncan, what if he chose swimming over basketball? He was a very, very good swimmer. He was actually supposed to qualify for the 1992 Olympics, but there was a hurricane that prevented him from going to the qualifying that year. So instead, he gave up on that and became a basketball player. And we know what happened. 5 rings could add 6 if Ray Allen didn't hit that shot. But yeah, he's one of my favorite players of all time. So I'm glad he chose basketball. But I mean, what if he was an Olympic swimmer?
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. But I think if Trump bought the Bills, that could have affected the whole country and the whole world because he's the president now. I mean, I don't really think there's much else to say after that. I mean, he's the president, and if he wasn't the president, or if he was the owner of the Bills, he might have never ran for president in the first place. So that's like a historical altering thing if he buys the Bills instead of not buying them.
Well, do you think if he bought it, he would have moved them? I feel like he would have moved the Bills to a bigger market.
He might have moved them to a bigger market, but I feel like I think that's probably why he ended up not buying them, is because the Pagulas have owned the Bills for like a long time, right, Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm sure they probably asked him about relocation. He probably wanted to relocate them, and the Pagulas probably weren't having that. So that's probably why he didn't buy them.
They also own the Sabres too, so they're all about Buffalo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're really
I feel
involved.
like Trump definitely would try to move him to like whatever, a bigger market.
Yeah,
he probably would have brought them to Vegas before the Raiders could have moved to Vegas.
Yeah,
That
agree.
would have been the wrong move. Buffalo's just what they need to be for the Bills. Great town. Shane, you want to elaborate on any of yours?
Yeah, I want to talk about Johnny Flynn a little bit. You know, growing up as Syracuse fans, we all know how good he was in his 2 years of college. Coming in that 2009 draft, he was a projected lottery pick, and he was Timberwolves' second pick in that draft. They took him 6th overall, a pick ahead of Steph Curry and 2 picks ahead of DeMar DeRozan. In his rookie season, he was pretty solid, actually. He averaged 14 points, close to 5 assists. Then he had the hip injury, and in the summer of 2010, he had to have surgery. Came back the next season, and his numbers completely dipped down to 5.3 points a game and close to 3 assists. And after that, of course, everything went downhill for his NBA career. And I guess my question is, could Johnny Flynn have had developed into a superstar like some of the guys that were drafted near him hadn't he gotten injured?
That's a good one. I feel like that's definitely good what if. And I think it's tough because when you got guys like, him and MCW, both from Cuse, I think it's all about situational things. If Johnny Flynn didn't get hurt, I think it completely alters his career. I think if Michael Porter Williams keeps that role in the Sixers, it alters his career. And maybe Ben Simmons doesn't necessarily go to the Sixers if he's there because they're similar players. Just Ben Simmons is a little bit bigger. Neither can shoot for shit. But MCW, if he keeps that role in the Sixers and keeps it up, then he could could have been just as productive, but we'll never know.
Yeah, maybe Flynn would have changed the Timberwolves franchise. But yeah.
I think he was drafted. What was that? The year after they traded Kevin Garnett too, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were already trending.
Flynn was a go.
Yeah, Johnny Flynn.
Go.
My favorite player ever.
Awesome at Syracuse. That dunk he had against Rutgers that always pops up every once in a while on the Twitter timeline. I mean, that was just vicious. And he was like 6'1", and he'd poster people that were like 8 inches taller than him.
Like the OG Syracuse uniforms on then too.
Like a college comparison for him could be like a guy like Russell Westbrook. Just the way
exactly. He's like a lesser known, a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
When people label him as a bust, I don't agree at all. I mean, you saw what he did.
I think if you get hurt,
you don't go top 10 for no reason. Then he showed rookie year what he could do, and then injuries.
Yeah.
That same injury.
It's like different with him and Anthony Bennett because Anthony Bennett was a bum, and everyone knew he was going to be a bum, and the Cavs still picked him 1st overall.
No, Anthony Bennett he was horrible. Just elaborate on one of mine. For Len Bias, I think this is probably the biggest what if in NBA history. You're looking at a guy that was viewed by scouts as a more polished version of Michael Jordan with a similar game and similar athletic skill out of Maryland. He was a complete beast there, averaging 24 games his senior year. And he's going to go join, in my eyes, the greatest. This is my hot take from Big Bake. Shout out to the guys in Cortland. The greatest basketball team of all time, the 86 Celtics, 5 Hall of Famers, completely deep team, 4 in the starting lineup. If he goes and steps on with that team, Magic Johnson might not win a ring after 86. The Piston bad boys might not have their run because you got a guy like Len Bias who's coming in nice and young with so much veteran talent, and that could have helped that the Celtics might not want to won 3 in the 80s, but could have been 6. So that's very tough. His passing was very tragic, but just the fact that he would have gone on a team with Dennis Johnson, former MVP, Bill Walton, former MVP, Larry Bird, former MVP, and added that level of skill to that team that was already so talented and that didn't lose a home game in the playoffs, then that could have completely altered his career and completely altered MJ's too.
Adam, you want to elaborate on anything that you had?
Just Andrew Luck was a great player. We all know that. Tim, you probably know that. He just retired out of nowhere, man. And they think about how good they were this year, and if they had, future Hall of Fame maybe quarterback on that roster, you don't know how good they could have been. Tim, Super Bowl maybe, we don't know.
Tim, why don't you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, Tim,
what do you think about
you want
that?
to get into it.
Oh wait, also I can elaborate. LeBron could be 2-7 right now. Or if Kyrie didn't bail him out with that 3 against the Warriors, who'd only have 1 ring. Just I could go on, Shane, if you want.
Well, I also wondering why we're saying Kyrie bailed them out when LeBron scored the most points in that fourth quarter and the most points in every fourth quarter in that series too. So I don't know if he bailed them out. He just hit a clutch shot at cluch time.
I mean,
You couldn't find Kyrie in the
LeBron
second
doesn't
half.
like the foul line in big moments. He doesn't like hitting big shots. He's just like a coward. He's kind of like Shane. That's why Shane likes him.
That's a horrible take. He actually has the most buzzer beaters any player in those last.
No, I like LeBron. I just wanted to troll Shane. Shane.
I mean, I could talk about Andrew Luck if
Wait, hold on. But like what Steve said about Len Bias is like because like the Celtics were kind of like trash in the '90s. Len Bias, if he's on the Celtics, they're probably one of the best teams through the '90s and really could have completely changed Jordan's career. Kobe and Shaq's early career with the Lakers when they were together. Like all those teams, like the whole NBA would have been different if Len Bias was there.
And Jordan had the biggest level of competition in the East. He had the Knicks, and honestly, the East was kind of weaker then. After especially with Larry Bird and these other guys like Dr. J getting older in the late '80s. So you see a team like Michael Jordan have to face a guy like Len Bias year in and year out with a bunch of veteran guys. It would have been completely different.
Mm-hmm. All right, but Tim,
yeah,
you can have your time to reflect.
So many people may have heard this story. Many people may have not. It was the night of August 24th. One of my first nights of college. My college dorm lounge with 20 of my new friends. We're ready to go out, ready to party. And I'm sitting next to the wall, so I can't really see the TV. All my friends can see it. I'm sitting on my phone, and one of my friends just yells out, "Andrew Luck retired." And at this point, some of them had known I was a Colts fan, but others did not. And I heard some murmur go around like, "Oh, isn't Tim a Colts fan?" They just, they started looking at me. And at that point, I knew I had to go to my room. I knew I had to grab my Andrew Luck jersey, throw it on, and, shed a little tear. I can't lie. I shed some tears, because you wait this whole offseason. The offseason is very long in football, very lengthy. And you wait it all, and it's late August. Football's coming back, and I'm ready. I think the Colts are contenders after going 10-6 last year, making a pretty nice playoff run. And then he retires out of nowhere. So then you leave us with Jacoby Brissett, who played all 2017 after Andrew Luck's injury, but definitely not a veteran, definitely not a guy who's going to lead you to the playoffs. And early season it was looking good. We were 5-2. Then he got injured and kind of spiraled down there. Only won 2 more games for us this season. Didn't make the playoffs. But, I think if Andrew Luck's there, team chemistry. I think the Steelers picked up Eric Ebron in the offseason. I think Ebron might stay if we still have Luck. You saw that 2018 season with Luck, 15 touchdowns for Ebron. Yeah. So I'm very sad, Adam. I don't like talking about it, but you brought it up.
Big what if,
I think he would have been a Hall of Fame quarterback. I think he would have won.
I agree.
He could have been on the Colts, maybe won 2, 3, 4 Super Bowls. You never know.
Oh my God!
Made the playoffs and wouldn't have done anything there.
Carson would never played a playoff game, right? And you've had him for 4 years, so.
Yeah, right. Tim, go through, man. That's tough.
All right, let's get to the important conversation.
Yeah. Commissioner
Honis.
So, I mean, basically everyone that watches this is in the GM. So everyone knows the GM kind of popped off last night. Ping pong tournament. There was a lot of things thrown out there. Tim got picked up and dropped, I don't know how many times, from Spinoso training group. Shane, you're a part of that now. How was your first training session today?
First training session was great. I'm looking forward to my fight. If it happens, we'll see. I'm pretty confident.
Talk about who you're fighting. Would you like to talk about
it? Well, I don't know if it's going to happen yet. So, but
speculation that the mighty CP,
the heavyweight
champion of the world.
The guy.
I'm not worried.
He currently holds the belt.
Tim will be joining the premier training.
Okay.
That you cannot find anywhere else. And me and Zach Kushner.
Okay.
Tim's body will be revolutionized for this fight, and he will be more prepared for this than he will ever be for anything in the rest of his life. Kushner is a guru and a complete animal. I'm going to throw 10, 15 pounds of muscle on Tim, and you're not even going to recognize him. And
Tim, who are you? Are you fighting Drew or Tarky?
Details are still not clear.
As a commissioner, I want to see good fights. I want everyone, better fights brings me more money.
I didn't train at all. I thought, like Carmen was texting me last night. He said, I wasn't expecting it to be as professional as it was. I credit Adam making it very professional. Me and Tarky had 2-minute rounds. I think Tarky was a little more prepared for that than I was. And if you ask the judges, I went up to the judges afterwards. They say I won the fight. They said if I hadn't left, I probably would have won the fight, and I do believe that. I'm pretty sure I did win the overall boxing part, but my stamina.
Yeah, to your credit, Tim, you actually did way better than I was.
Tim, you went a lot more than people realized.
I think that people want to see a Churko versus Parker too.
I have to agree with that.
That would be premier.
You know what I'm saying? That's, as a promoter, I think Churko Parker too, because there was some people in Churko's camp kind of think that he won the fight, aka Pat Murad.
No shot.
Didn't say he won the fight.
No, CP definitely won. Definitely.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm not saying me. I'm saying there are people.
Yeah, no, I know.
Churko, to his
Churko
credit,
did land some mean body shots on Chris. I'll keep it 100 right there.
Yeah, I rewatched it last night in preparation for this because not only is it awesome, but I wanted to be ready to talk about it, and it by no means was the closest fight. It was, everybody waited for it, and Chris just went on a spree towards the end.
He had like
tried
that.
to show off how tough he was, but when you have 3 short rounds, you can't show off how tough you are. You just got to land, and Chris landed too many not to win. So, but Churko hung in there tough. Like I don't know why he just stood there and ate him.
Yeah, Churko was soaking punches. Like
he
was just taking them.
Steven, do you remember after the fight was over and the scorers were doing their thing? I remember you were drenched in sweat because you're so hype and the basement was hot. You come out to me and you get in my face and you were like, if Parker doesn't win this fight, it's rigged. And I thought you were gonna fight me. I'm like, I don't have anything to do with this sport.
I was energized because Adam did such a good job of creating this event, and I didn't expect it to be as good as it was. But in the heat of the moment, I'm hyping CP up for days, and a lot of people thought Churko was gonna hand it to him. Like CP, he's a long, skinnier guy. Churko's more of a beefy, shorter guy. It was a good matchup, but
Churko looks like a Smurf, and CP is tall.
Yeah, CP's more like a Slenderman, and Churko's like a smaller, compact. So prior to the fight, I don't know if people remember, but there was a lot of people like, "Wow, Churko's going to hand it to him," and I'm like, "You can't sleep on CP." And then CP delivered, man. All respect to Churko in his camp, except Pat Murad, you're out of your mind. But Churko had a hell of a fight, man. He did great. I cannot emphasize that enough. It was Churko, like Adams, you said, bro. If there was a 2 for that, bro. Oh my God, we'd have to.
So Shane, you'd have to find somebody else, I think.
Oh,
I think that you versus CP is a no-go. I think maybe you versus Fish.
Oh, me versus Fish? Come on, bro. Stop.
That's a blowout.
I'm not trying to kill the man.
You can't. I don't think you can put a loser up against someone like Shane. I think
Shane has no wins.
Yeah, but
unproven.
Not a loser.
But Murphy beat Fish, right?
Murphy was country strong.
Yeah, Murphy.
If you're watching this, I would give you the
Murphy is not the same as Big Murph of the winner.
Question mark.
Murphy, if you're watching this,
Am I the only one that doesn't think that's that bad of a matchup?
What?
Weight class similar, height similar.
I would destroy Murphy.
Wait, Shane, how much do you weigh now?
About 215.
Yeah, Murphy's like 190. I don't know if that's. Yeah. I don't know if that's
the old Murph, the better Murph, the chubbier Murph, the larger Murph.
More to love.
Yeah, the Murph we love, not the new one.
Yeah, there was 4 fights. We basically forced 6 people to fight. The only people that really wanted to fight each other were Churko and Chris. Tarky kind of didn't want to fight you. You kind of didn't want to fight Tarky.
No part of it. Goody just did it.
All right. Murphy did want to beat Ben Fish's ass. Ben didn't know how to fight, but I mean,
Goody did it because it's not
so
a
it
bit.
didn't matter.
I don't think anyone really wanted to fight. That's why
my CP and Churko actually wanted.
Had to have no matter what. I think to Gibby's credit, what he's saying is very true, and I also think that we shouldn't necessarily discredit people for not fighting, but we can give people. Should definitely be able to give people credit to people that did fight.
Yeah, exactly.
Without taking away from others, because just because you didn't, if Adam and I didn't fight, but if we fought one of the people in there, we would kick their ass. That doesn't discredit either of us. Just because
it's hard because everyone in the group chat and are great in general are so close that it's like there's not actual beef usually.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think the only way that we can get like real fights that there's like bad blood is if we go outside of our school. I think that's the only way that happens, but I don't know how we would go about that.
And that's tough because once you do that, then you're opening it on a bigger scale that you don't really
And then
control.
it's basically just a legal underground fighting club.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we don't need that.
We're not that. We're a ping pong tournament that has a lot of
Yeah,
fun once a year.
very true. So I don't know.
We are a ping pong tournament, for the record. That is our name, and that's what we do. We play ping pong. This is just all methodical.
These are all just ping pong terms.
Like these are all ping pong terms. Like
If you don't know that these are ping pong turns, then maybe you should watch the Olympics or sometime. Just learn a
yeah,
little bit.
because then you clearly don't know the sport of ping pong.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think.
But like Shane, you're down to fight, but again, there's not many people your size, and then there's not like.
I'm not gonna lie. I would love to watch a rematch of Chris and Max.
Oh, 100%.
And
you know that's
if
gonna
you're
be
getting called out left and right, you can respond if you want.
Yeah.
It
I
shouldn't
haven't
be getting
called
called
out
out, right? Because the people that are calling him out wouldn't be able to kick his ass. Like, there's no one that's been fair so far. Like,
Yeah.
so
I
that's
think
just-
Drew
just
and
everything.
Parkey versus Tim too would also be a good one. I believe. Like it was.
Yeah,
closer
all right.
than-
I'll talk because Tarky claims that he didn't know like how boxing worked before he fought. He thought it was like because he did karate when he was younger too. Thought it was like sparring where like you're just kind of like just dicking around.
Yeah.
He didn't understand about the whole like landing
I
punches.
think
and all that
also
stuff.
they were the first ones to go, so they didn't have anything to
No,
base it
we
off
went
of. The people after got to
Yeah,
realize
yeah.
what it was. So like,
Well, no, Goody and
Oh,
Goody-
okay, they were
Goody and
second. They
Manuel,
were second.
That was just not fair. That was just that was a blowout.
That was
Yeah, I
Manuel's
forgot about that
mistake
one.
calling
Yeah.
out.
I was
That was
saying Goody and Bobby would be a good fight.
Who
Zach Goodson and Bobby.
did
That'd
Zach respond in the group chat at all last night?
And we can't force people to do this too. We got to keep in mind, like,
We got to bring up ideas and
yeah, idea. It's a good idea. Yeah, I mean, I would like to.
Yeah,
see
no,
it.
we gotta throw names out and
Yeah.
see if people will.
I'm making it official. The challenge me and Bennett talked about has been expired. There's no bad blood between me and Camp Fish. So that will not be happening. One, I have 100 pounds on him, so I don't think that. And two, there's no longer any beef or any need to. So I think that I'm declining that, and that also expired. So, yeah, it's not happening.
Now, Commissioner Honis, if this does happen, will 315 Sports Podcast have full access to all of the fighters?
Yeah, of course. There can be pre-match, hype. Some get them in the podcast, have them talk some trash. How.
Yeah.
Only other sponsor I'm looking for is Four Loko. So if they're out there listening, I know Four Loko is listening to this podcast right now. Just hit my line.
I think, and I think now that we know how serious this is, I think the participants of the ping pong tournament will be more prepared.
Yes.
Well, also I was thinking maybe we could bring it to Kushner's gym, make it like actual. You know what I'm saying?
Like a ring? Yeah.
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 Carmen was saying we should bring it outside.
I was kind of thinking the same thing. If we get
Just set
a
up ropes
mat, if
outside
we get
somewhere.
mat and we just put some
Carmen
ropes
said-
up, and then we put
Carmen
some
said,
chairs around it.
It's not bad.
Yeah,
It's not
that'd be good. Because
No,
it was
but-
tough with like the walls and
With the
stuff like
walls,
that.
yeah.
Me and
'cause
Adam were,
you
like, trying to
didn't
block
want
them
anyone
out
to
the whole
fly
time.
through the wall.
Yeah, exactly. People were like going up near the wall, and then there's a hoop within that. It wasn't all ideal. So I think if we do it again, we gotta do it all the way right.
If it can happen, yeah.
I mean, planning it in a week because it happened we talked about it on a Monday, or that's when Maine said he beat Goody's ass on a Monday. So then we brought up the idea on a Monday, and it happened on a Friday for a 5-day thing. It worked out.
Shout out to Max Schulman.
It was a holiday.
He did a good job of
Shulman
he
with
was
his
kind of my right hand man in setting it up. I'm not gonna lie, he did a good job.
Showman,
setting everything
Max
up.
does a good job of setting stuff up between this
Yeah.
and the three.
Max is very good with all this stuff,
And I think,
tournament and all that stuff.
especially now with everything going on, that we have enough time to. We're not really
actually
doing much.
think about it.
Yeah, think about it and plan it out. I think it could be.
Well, there should be actual training though. If we we have this time, you don't want
Yeah.
this to be like fucking Murphy Foss and Ben Fish swinging around, hitting each other back of the head. You want it to be like some actual decent boxing, as best as we can do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was pretty entertaining, though. Not gonna lie.
And we definitely, something I
was.
want to emphasize, and when we talk about this, is that if you are, when mostly everybody that would do this in the group chat, don't be afraid to challenge somebody or step up. You're going to gain a lot of respect from all of us in general just by saying something like that. There's no necessary to do this, but like it'd be really fun, and I don't think you'll regret if you did volunteer.
I don't think
So Tim, let me ask you something.
people should nominate other people. I like the fact of nominating yourself.
That's what I'm saying. Don't be afraid to step up to it. And I think Tim should get some credit the fact that he's ready to step up again and do.
Well, no,
be ready
Tarky is just worried because he had mono, so he's lost like 15 pounds over the last month.
Yeah.
So he doesn't if he can put his weight back on, I'm sure he wouldn't care about who he fought. But that's a different discussion.
That's a fair factor.
But Honis, you wanted to ask Tim something?
Yeah, Tim. So would you rather do Tim versus Tarky 2, or would you want to set up a new one?
I mean, Tarky's health is probably number one priority. So if he was healthy, I wouldn't care. I mean, I think it'd be a lot more.
I like Tim versus Drew.
Would you accept the challenge from Drew?
I thought I already did, but I mean, I
Wait, Tim, did Drew challenge you or did you challenge him?
I think Drew challenged Tim.
All right, well then, Tim, you have to take that
So
fight.
you should probably take that one,
Yeah.
and we're gonna win it, Tim. If it happens, we're gonna win it.
Drew, if
Stay
you're
now.
watching, man.
Drew, yeah, you better hit the gym right now.
Drew, if you're watching,
You can find
I
your
don't
trainer.
think Drew is signed right now, so I don't know, Carmen, if you're watching this, maybe you reach out to Drew, get him in your camp.
Maybe you could. Tim,
Steven, you're not going to take him.
No, I got my guy.
Conflict of
We're,
interest.
we're winning
Yeah,
it.
it's conflict of
Me
interest.
and Kushner, it's done. It's over.
Honestly, though, Carmen, if you're watching this, if I was a fighter, I think I'd sign with Steven Kushner. I don't know, after watching Shane's video with those heavy feet,
damn, bro. That's so
It was
tough.
only day one. Only day one.
I was after a workout too. My arms were dead.
Well, your feet weren't moving.
I wanted to collaborate with Kushner because I, for one, don't know too much about fighting in general. Not more than the average guy. But Kushner, if anyone knows
Yeah, for a
about
couple
fighting,
weeks, you turned into a
He'll
beast.
throw
kind of
some
fighting?
weight on.
I'll throw some weight on you, and you're gonna throw some
Kushner
weight around. But like once
Kushner
you
will
need to fight
develop
somebody,
the fighting.
yeah,
What kind of fighting does Kushner even do?
It's
like
like karate.
MMA.
He definitely knows
Dominating
like,
others.
basic- Yeah, basic freaking boxing stuff. He can teach better than anybody. I wouldn't even know how to do that stuff.
yeah. And he was the one that he really liked Tim in the match last time because he said Tim had really good timing and he just the way he attacked it was just more calculated than the other guys. Like Murph and Fish went at it, but like it was more just like random.
That was just two dumbasses fighting.
So, Steve, did you guys sign CP? Didn't you?
If CP does, and I would love and I love all respect to Churko. If CP does, then yes, I'd be happy to. And right now, we already have a group chat. We're already underway with workouts for CP moving forward. So I think he's ready to rumble. Once Tim is official with somebody, that will be the same thing with him and Kushner and I am already talking. We'd love.
All right.
I mean, hold up. Steve decided he'd start training Chris with the idea that I was gonna fight him already too.
I mean, just saw this video, big time.
Shane,
Chugging his
that's what I said. I want
Was
to
that
elaborate.
yesterday or was that from last year?
But this is today. There's 2 eggs in there. Attaboy, CP. 2 eggs. Two.
CP's been grinding without even something you can tell. He's talking about he's already ran for a mile today, already lifting weights. His dad's CP has all these advantages in his corner. So I think some guys got to help Churko out too for the round 2 because CP's ready to go.
Pat will train Turco.
Yeah, that's
whatever that means.
We're gonna drink mustard together and eat like hot dogs in Pat's basement. That's not training. They gotta find somebody else.
Put some more lemons in his eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that was electric. I mean, that video right there. I mean, that's
Turco, I think, you got to one up CP. He kind of just bullied you into a corner with drinking 2 eggs. You know nothing, Turco.
Where are the lemons at, sir?
Yeah, like.
Just getting bullied around.
I think that's the reason everyone thought Churko was going to win because he was a psycho.
Yeah.
No, CP did a good job. Like, I mean, his dad is the man freaking telling him what to do.
Yeah.
CP was ready, man.
Mr. Parker had CP ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
CP just was in the zone before the fight. I think Churko was just looking to have a good time, and he just Churko's just mentally just a tough cookie. The fact that he took 5 in a row, and then after was just telling his corner, I want more and all this stuff. He's just a tough kid. But
so if we're gonna do this again, I think we definitely need to get new gloves because those things by the end were all over the place. And then I want to get some tape. I don't think we taped the wrists good enough.
I had one roll of tape, and I offered to put it on a couple of people's hands, and they were like, no. And I was like, all right, you guys are gonna fucking hurt your hands then when you're.
Yeah, you gotta get the wrist tape. We gotta get new gloves too. Those things are all ripped, but they might even be in the trash at this point.
But
I think
I guess people watching this, would you rather have it at Kushner's gym, or would you rather just go full on ghetto mode, just do it outside?
I think outside would be. I think that'd be
Kimbo's lifestyle.
That'd be fucking dope.
I think outside we invite more spectators.
Yeah, if it's outside, we can throw a little admission cost on it. Honis makes some money.
And, just bring it through me. Again, for Loco, we're gonna have a lot of people watching. If you want to get sponsored, if you want to sponsor us,
Yeah, and this is, we can't. We're really looking forward to this.
No, this is
Yes, we'll be sponsoring fighters.
And anyone that we'd like to bring this up to going forward, the fact that we just we're throwing these podcasts out there for people to listen to, much going on. If anyone does accept the challenge or challenge someone else, we'd be happy to have them on the podcast.
Yeah, you can just hit one of us up. We'll bring you on the show, and you can call someone out on the show if you want to fight.
We would love that.
yeah, for sure.
But I think as of right now, I'm sure CP doesn't care who he fights. So pretty much it's up to Churko to take the fight or not. If he doesn't take the fight, Churko, you're a fucking mega pussy. But we'll leave that for later.
We won't judge you, but you're a pussy. We won't judge.
Churko, it is your option, and you don't have to. But you are mentally soft, and we'll never accept you again if you do not.
Yeah, we're not going to judge you. We're going to make fun of you for being a pussy.
Yeah. And Shane is more than willing to. The fact that Shane volunteered is big, and he's more than willing to participate. We just need to find someone that's willing to challenge Shane. So if you want to respect
to go against him. And then CP versus Shane /
CP versus someone is going to happen, whether it's Shane or Churko.
If Churko's down the fight, I'll give Churko that fight.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to find somebody else.
It's what
that's a very team player mentality there, Shane.
Well, then we could find somebody else for the heavyweight division for sure.
Tarky said he wants to fight again because he doesn't think he did a good enough job. So, and Tarky will kind of try to find someone to fight again.
All right.
But other than that,
some big things developing.
Things developing. Let us know what you feel. If you don't want to comment, you can just send us a text. If you have any ideas moving forward with the podcast and any ideas of what the ping pong tournament we might have. This is all speculation, by the way. There's no guarantee on if this is happening. And, man, this is really glad to have Adam on the show, man. Really glad the commissioner, coach, referee, owner, and all everything is here.
I like that, Steve. I like that.
Yeah, and pretty much for like the people, if you guys don't, first of all, if you guys don't enjoy watching us goof around and actually have because this stuff's fun for all of us, have these kind of conversations, first of all, fuck you. And second of all, we'll get back to more of our probably sports talk probably with our next episode. Mm-hmm. Yesterday's episode was kind of sports talk, and then we kind of got into the basketball tournament because that's what we like to. That's just fun for all of us. And then this was another one of those things. We got Honis dressed up like the commission, like an actual commissioner. He's got a tie on. He was ready to go today. Yeah, we appreciate it. And to all the fighters and potential fighters, like Steve said before, don't be afraid to call anybody out. It's not that big of a deal. If the person you call doesn't want to fight you, then they look like a bitch. So
you're not going to lose anything.
Yeah.
All right. And before we end today's podcast, we're going to do a little NFL, NBA trivia, whatever. So just call out the answer. If you know it, you'll get a point. What team won the Super Bowl in 2007?
The Giants.
Correct. Good job. Next question.
Maybe crushes his.
He does.
Yeah.
Colts franchise has won 2 Super Bowls while located in Indianapolis and where?
Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore is correct.
That's good.
This NFL team holds the record for fewest points scored in a Super Bowl.
Anyone get shut out?
Yeah, it's got to be a shutout.
Didn't the Bengals get shut out by the 49ers one time?
Nope. I could read you the teams on the list here.
Yeah.
Bears, Cowboys, Jets, Dolphins.
Bears.
Nope.
Dolphins.
Yep.
What year and what was the score?
I don't know. It didn't say. It just said they got shut out.
Okay.
This wide receiver leads the league in Super Bowl touchdowns with 8, or leads the NFL history with touchdowns in Super Bowl.
Jerry Rice.
I was gonna say Jerry Rice too.
Correct, Jerry Rice.
Yeah, obviously.
All right, our last NFL question. This quarterback has the most yards in Super Bowl history. Is it Dan Marino, Donovan McNabb, John Elway, or Kurt Warner?
Is it John
Warner
Elway?
went to
No.
3 Super Bowls. I'm gonna say Kurt Warner.
Game, or is it all?
Warner.
Yeah, it's Kurt Warner.
All combined.
Like all 3 games
got it,
combined.
yeah.
Because Elway only went to 3 Super Bowls, but he was old in the last 2 he played in. And I don't think did Dan Marino even make a Super Bowl?
Never won one.
Yeah, I know he never won one.
All right, and to finish the show, we're going to do an NBA who he played for. This was the 2019-2020 season. Garrett Temple.
We have some options.
He played for the Nets.
He did play for the Nets. There's no options on here, but I
Okay.
can give you some. Our next player is Caleb Swanigan. Is it the Blazers, Kings, or Clippers?
Blazers.
Yeah, I know he was. He's on the Kings then.
Yeah, he's on the Kings.
Yeah.
He used to be in the Blazers.
He used to be on the Blazers, yeah.
All right. Now we have George Niang. Did he play for the Warriors, Jazz, or Heat?
The Jazz.
Warriors.
Yeah.
It's the Jazz. Yep. I think that was
Straight up guess.
Get it. Let's get it.
all right. We'll do 2 more here. Anthony Tolliver. Is he on the Pistons, Blazers, or Nuggets?
He was on the I know he was on the Blazers for like a week.
Maybe he's on the Pistons now then.
Yeah.
No.
Nuggets.
Blazers.
Hold on.
Yes.
So he was on the Pistons, right?
Yeah. But not anymore. All right. And the last one we'll do is Courtney Lee.
No.
Yeah, the Mavericks, Hornets, or Pacers?
Hornets.
He used to play for the Knicks. Does he play for the Mavericks?
Yeah.
Plays for Mavs.
I feel
Well, he's been on the Hornets, the Celtics.
he's been on a
everywhere.
shitload of teams.
All right. I don't know who won that. It might have been Shane. I don't know how many points.
Definitely wasn't me.
Get what he got that one.
Let's finish
All
it off
right.
with the round.
Does anyone have anything else to say before we end it?
I mean, other than a quick thank you to Mr. Honis for joining us today on today's episode to discuss something that we all love to talk about. And we'll definitely have you on in the future if this actually gets set in stone and you can work out all the details and we'll have you on
Boy
again.
has nothing going on, so hit me up anytime. I'll be on.
Yeah.
Like we said, if you want to call somebody out and you want to get on the podcast to do it, just let us know.
And
Stay safe.
Yeah, everyone stay safe, stay healthy. Don't be fucking stupid and cost us our summer by going outside and fucking around.
Flatten the curve.
Yeah.
Flatten it.
There's a website that helps you do that. Steven knows.
Yeah. Flatten the curve, man. Flatten the
Yeah,
curve.
flatten the curve.
Take advantage of what you got.
hope you guys are liking well, this is gonna be our first short episode. Hopefully you like these better than the long ones. We'll keep doing them as much as we can. And especially when sports start to come back, that'll give us more ideas. So right now we're gonna keep trying to do one every day, if not once every 2 days, under an hour. And yeah, make sure to subscribe and like, and peace.